Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Reds, where we've been latest Liverpool news and transfer news and much, much more. Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk disrespected last night at the Ballon d'Or ceremony. And I'm not here to say the winner was wrong, because if you watched me last night, I said the only person for me that can beat Mohamed Salah is Ousmane Dembele. So I'm happy Dembele did win over Yamal, but I will not sit here and allow this disrespect to keep happening and be quiet about it, because Mohamed Salah coming fourth is nothing short of disgraceful for me. Virgil van Dijk coming 28th is just as disgraceful as Mohamed Salah going fourth as well. So yeah, we're going to discuss obviously Ballon d'Or rankings last night. What our thoughts and our feelings on that last night, and we're quite, I won't say angry, because at the end of the day, it's individual awards. I'm glad Salah can prove it on the pitch again for Liverpool, go win another title, go win the Champions League. But it is really annoying.
Oh, seems his connection's gone down. Wait till he comes back. Tell you what, I don't agree with Dembele. I'll tell you that for a fact. He should be back in it, but yeah, the whole list was an absolute shocker. Anyone seen it last night? Obviously there was. I mean, the fact that Harry Kane come out of the top 10 was mad. Harry Kane absolutely ripped up for Bayern last season. The list was an absolute disgrace, an absolute joke. But yeah, that's just the way the Ballon d'Or is at the minute. Yesterday I got said to me was it's like the Eurovision Song Contest for footballers. That's what it is. It genuinely is. But the fact that Salah was fourth is disgraceful. Honestly, disgraceful. You're right there, Davo.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I knew I should have put my laptop in charge. I knew it needed charge, and for some reason I didn't put it in charge. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Good to go. Right. So yeah, Mohamed Salah not getting fourth is absolute disgrace. Van Dijk getting 28th. I'm gonna go through again. I did last night the list again of from 30 down to 1. And there was a few shockers. I mean, I did a reaction last night to it live, the 30 to 11 live reaction to it. Van Dijk 28th, Elisi 30th. That's another one for me. I thought, hang on a second, what are we watching the same season? Lautaro Martinez 20th. Lautaro Martinez above Elisi and Van Dijk. Even above McAllister shouldn't have happened, but above Elisi and Van Dijk. McTominay, I think he had a brilliant season, but I won't say he's had a better season than Van Dijk and Elisi, certainly not. Pedri 11th. That's another one. Pedri 11th, not in the top 10, and Cole Palmer in the top 10. And I said it last night, Cole Palmer wasn't even the best Chelsea player last season. It was Caicedo. He had his moments. He always does. He's a good player. But he wasn't the best Chelsea player. So to get top 10 in Ballon d'Or for winning the Club World Cup, when he didn't really... Was he a big part of the Club World Cup win? I don't think he was.
Not really.
João Pedro had a bigger impact, and he's understarted.
I think the all awards ceremony is absolutely disgrace, to be honest. I've just said then off camera, I actually don't agree with you that Dembele should have won it. I think Dembele miles behind Rafinha and Salah. I think them two are the best players on the planet last season, both of them. I don't think Dembele even comes close to them. I think it's an absolute fraud that he's got it. He wasn't even PSG's best player. He only was good when Kvaratskhelia come in. He was shite before Christmas. He was shite before January, February. He only come into form then. It just shows, doesn't it? There's a few factors in it to win it. One, you've got to be from either Europe or South America, because the only other winner that's won it from a different continent is George Weah, who did he play for America? I'm pretty sure he did, didn't
he? Yeah, he played in America, yeah.
So, I mean, another factor is popularity. I feel like Liverpool players, and this is not me just going, oh, Liverpool players should win the Ballon d'Or every season and stuff like that. But it seems to me that with the Ballon d'Or, it's always been targeted around Central European players. With the exception of the odd Brazilian, Argentinian as well. I'm talking about your Germanys, your Frances, especially. This is a French award, by the way. Italy, all them sort of countries, really. There's been years before our time when Kenny Dalglish should have won the Ballon d'Or and he didn't. There's been not, and then this is not just an issue with like just specific Liverpool. It seems to be English football in general. Like there's been 4 or 5 Englishmen to win the Ballon d'Or? Kevin Keegan, Bobby Charlton. Did Bobby Moore win it?
Did Bobby Moore win it?
No,
I don't know.
Stanley Matthews.
Michael Owen.
There's one I'm missing.
Ballon d'Or winners.
Let's say for argument's sake, George Best. I know he was Northern Irish, but he played in the Premier League. In the first division his entire career, didn't he? For where this is not me being like, England's the best and stuff, but where football was sort of created, what football we play today, everyone plays around the world, is created in this country. For us to have that many Ballon d'Or winners since 1950s, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, obviously, I know for the last.
But now it's the best league in the world as well. If you consider how long has the Premier League been the best league in the world?
Probably the last 10 years.
The hardest league in the world.
When Barcelona won that last Champions League in 2015, that's when it fell off. After that, it absolutely fell off the edge of a cliff. Like now, you've got a league, right, which is like sort of, it's not even Atletico anymore. Like Atletico are absolutely miles off it, and you never see a player from Atletico win it. You never see a player from like any other Spanish club win it apart from Barcelona or PSG, Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And I know France has had a few winners, but I think there's only been one of them correct. That's been from like when they played in the Liga, which was Papan. Obviously, when he won the Champions League. Obviously, he actually deserved that. Yeah, he does deserve it. But like all the rest, it's just they've either got to play for an Italian club. Yes, when Ruud Gullit and all that won it, all them Italian players or Italian Serie A players that won it at the time. Yeah, they should have won it because they're in the best league in the world. The Liga players, when they've won it at the time, yeah, it was the best league in the world. But now it's the Prem. Prem's the best league in the world. So why is the Premier League so discarded by the rest of Europe? Like, I think a lot of Europe and these journalists living in cuckoo land, like, to go and score. Put it this way: if Salah played in League One, he would score 50 goals a season. I'm not even going to like gloss over the fact that that's not something that would be true. He'd score 50 goals a season. Dembele struggled in Spain, and he's only been good in France. So, apart from his obviously early resurgence when he moved to Dortmund, but you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a bit of a fraud, isn't it? I think Vitinha being in the top 3 is a complete joke as well.
And I think Vitinha is one of the best midfielders. I said alongside Pedri and alongside Gravenberch. Right now, Vitinha is the best midfielder in the world.
He is, but
it's not about being the best. And a lot of people have seen this. I've seen Lee Gunnar talking about this, man. I've seen a few people saying, "Oh well, it's about who's the best in the world. Salah the best in the world right now." It's not about who's the best in the world. It's about who's been the best for the last season, the last year, leading up to the Ballon d'Or. Since the last Ballon d'Or, who has been the best player?
Salah, and that's it.
Not who is the best player right now in the world football. Yes, Yamal might be seen as the best player in world football, but it's not. It didn't have a better season, a better year since last Ballon d'Or. It didn't have a better year than Salah. And people forgetting it. Let me just bring Salah's things up though now, because obviously they talk about individual stats. 29 goals, 13 assists in the league. PFA Player of the Year 3 times. When I think the first player to do that, first player to ever get Playmaker, Player of the Season, and top goal scorer in the league, in the Premier League. Writers Footballer of the Year, won the Premier League. Major reason why they won the Premier League, and then they're going to throw out, well, where's your internationals? He just got Egypt to the World Cup, by the way. Yeah. It's the first time ever in their history.
Yeah, and then they've also got. He also broke the record. The amount of records Salah broke last year. Individualism. That's what it's about. It's about individual player.
That's exactly what it's about. Yes, team trophies can be added to it, but we got a team trophy. We won the fucking Premier League, the biggest league in the world.
Put it this way. This is a great argument I keep saying, right? PSG are absolutely guaranteed to win the league every single year. When they were playing the Champions League this year, they rested everyone in the league because they didn't have to worry about it. They were like 15 points clear at one point. Do you know what I mean? I know Liverpool were 10 points clear, but Salah under a new manager was unbelievable. Won the Premier League, broke. I don't even want to know how many records. I'd say it's at least 10 different records he broke last season. Dembele, all Dembele was a part of a good team. I'm not saying Liverpool aren't a good team. Liverpool are one of the best teams in the world, but what happened is it was just it's a purple patch what Dembele had. Like, I'll honestly come back to this. We can save this from next year. Everyone can save this, right? You tell me next year if I actually bet you any money that Dembele will be nowhere near what he is like this year. The last 4 months of the year, he'll be nowhere near it. Do you know why? Because he's not that player. He's not good enough. He's not consistent enough, and he doesn't deserve to win something that, for me, it's over a year, yeah. But Salah's been doing it for 9. He's been doing it for 9 years. He's comfortably been the top 3 players, top 4 or 5 players in the world for the last 9 years, and like. He doesn't get the conversation. He doesn't get mentioned in the conversation. I don't know whether it's because I'm not going to say one of the factors because I don't want to go into that. I don't know whether it's because he plays for Liverpool, and obviously we always get brandish with, it's Liverpool, we're cheats and lucky and stuff like that. We always get that all the time. Is it because he's from Africa? Africans not very well favoured by certain countries with voting. I can't put my finger on it. It's baffling, isn't it? Like, it's genuinely baffling. Like, if Salah was called Mike Snow or something, or I don't know, something like that, he would be in the Ballon d'Or, or Saladinho. He'd be winning it. He'd be winning it. If he's from Brazil, from Portugal, he'd be winning it.
And that shouldn't ever come into it. But sometimes that's the only logical reason you can think of. Because if you're looking at everything else, okay, like I'm happy Dembele winning it, if I'm honest. Now, just in like Dembele winning it, I thought he was fantastic last season. I know mainly second half of the season, but I thought he was the key part of PSG winning pretty much all their trophies that they won. But I was never going to take the Yamal. I think for me, Rafinha had a better season than Yamal at Barcelona. I said that last night. I said as a whole season, Rafinha has had a better season than Yamal. Yamal's only going on it based off name alone. Vitinha shouldn't be top 3. It's the fact that I don't mind Salah. If Salah came second to Dembele, I'd be like, that's all right for me. I'd have been all right. I know you might not be, but I would have been all right with that. But Salah to come 4th behind a player that only played, just came out around Feb, March. Yamal started playing well. Rafinha played out well the whole season. Salah come behind him, and then behind Vitinha. Not even to get the podium, not even to get a 3rd place in probably his best season at Liverpool, probably one of the best individual season I've seen in the Premier League.
It is. It genuinely is the best.
The only logical reason you can think of is it because it's from Egypt? Is it because this and that? Yeah. Is it because it's the Premier League and they don't like the Premier League players winning anything? That's the only way you can. That's the only logical answers you can think of.
I don't know what it is. Do you know how shite the Ballon d'Or is, right? I seen a tweet yesterday, and I've seen it before. I've seen it a few times. There was a Uzbekistani, I don't know if you've ever seen this, by the way. When Lewandowski was getting voted for the Ballon d'Or, he didn't win it, which he should have won that year, by the way, because he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And there was a Uzbekistan. Is it Uzbekistan? He's from Uzbekistan.
All right, so representing him.
He messaged someone and messaged someone a picture of Lewandowski's FIFA card and thought he was German and didn't vote for him because he didn't have enough pace. And that is true. I've gone and have a look at that on Twitter. That is why the Ballon d'Or is rubbish.
That's madness if that's true.
But I think it's true. I've seen it a few times been knocked around. But if it is true, if it's not, fair enough. But if it is true, it wouldn't surprise me. It genuinely wouldn't
So
surprise
they're
me.
not watching the games, then, are they?
Well, is the prime example, like, people love to glaze players that are good, right? But they're not as good as they think they are, right? So for me, people feel, oh, I said the other day, like, I think Elise is better than Yamal. I do. I really do think he's better than him. And people are like, oh, no, but Yamal should have won it. Yamal should have won it. No, he shouldn't. Yamal should not have won that Ballon d'Or. Yep. I actually don't think Yamal. I think Yamal's a great player. I think he's brilliant. But does he deserve to win a Ballon d'Or? Absolutely not. Like, does he deserve to be second? No. He doesn't deserve to be even top 5. There's players better than him last year. And
Yeah, and people forget. Right now, if you talk about the best players in the world, Yamal's definitely top 5, one of the best players in the world. But was he one of the best? Was he top 5 best players in the world last in the whole season?
not at all. Not
They're
at all.
not.
I'd honestly say, I don't even know what my top 5 would be, to be honest. I mean, if I take bias away from it, right, and I can agree, right, I could say Rafinha or Salah should have been the winner of that Ballon d'Or. That's fine. Dembele maybe third, right, behind them two. I think them two, the seasons they had as individuals was far superior to what Dembele did with the team. And then for me, I don't even think Yamal. I think Yamal will be like 6 to me. I don't even Vitinha. I put Vitinha ahead of.
I might put him slightly 5th because how good Yamal was when he actually got going.
But
I might
he's
put him
good.
5th.
He's a good player, but like, he's not as good as people are making out he is. Like, he is brilliant. Don't get me wrong. He's so talented. He's fantastic. But again, he's playing in the Liga. Would he be doing this in the Prem? Absolutely not. So, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to sort of like, that's almost like taking minus points off him. Did he do it in the Champions League? Not really. Not really. He was okay. He wasn't Rafinha's level in the Champions League. Rafinha in the Champions League was unbelievable. Rafinha was the best player
Yeah,
in the league last
he got
season.
them through. Do you remember the 2 late goals he got?
Yeah,
I
but
can't believe it was against.
like, if you're going off individual awards, then Rafinha was the best player in the Champions League last season. Dembele wasn't the best player in the Champions League last season. I don't think he was. Salah definitely wasn't. I know he wasn't because he wasn't that great in the Champions League. And then you go to another competition. Who was the best in the Premier League? Oh, it was Mo Salah. Who was the best in La Liga last season? Between Yamal, Pedri, and Rafinha. But I'd say Rafinha's still ahead of him. You know what I mean? So, and then the thing with the PSG thing as well is, like, if Kvaratskhelia doesn't come into PSG, do they not? I don't think they win the Champions League because I think he was more of an influence than Dembele was. Because of course he was, because Dembele all of a sudden become better when a better player come into the attacking line.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, because Kvaratskhelia is such a good player. Would he have won the Champions League? I don't think he would have done. They were brilliant, don't get me wrong. But Kvaratskhelia was like the one you watched last season. Like, when we played in the Champions League, I wasn't asked about Dembele. I know he scored against us, but I wasn't asked because I know that he's not as dangerous as Kvaratskhelia, and he's not as dangerous as Doué was last season and stuff like that. And I just think the whole awards are based around it's probably like simple term that best striker for the best team. Yeah, we'll pick it. You know what I mean? It's like, look into it a little bit more, watch the games a little bit more. That's all I feel like. The games I watched Rafinha play last year, like, I was like, wow, what a level he's gone to after Leeds. He's been absolutely brilliant. And you know what? Rafinha was good in the Premier League as well. He was good.
When I saw Martinez get 20th, and I saw Van Dijk get 28th, and Elise. They're the main two for me that pissed me off first and foremost.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
Elise and Van Dijk being 28th and 30th. Elise for me was even better than Kane last season as a whole season. I thought he was better than Kane, but I think Kane certainly deserves to be top 10. I think Elise maybe deserves top 10, but Van Dijk behind Lautaro Martinez. That tells me they're just basically going on. I said it last night. They're going on goals. So if they're going on goals, why is not Salah not one Ballon d'Or then? You can't have one thing for one and one thing the other. Lautaro Martinez is getting 20th, above Van Dijk, above Elise, above McAllister, above, I think, Fabian Ruiz behind him.
Didn't even win the league. Didn't even win the league. Napoli won it. Napoli won it the last day. So why are they in it? Why is Lautaro Martinez so high? You know what, as well, actually? I'll tell you something that's mad. Obviously, I think Van Dijk, I think Kane, I think Elise, all of them players should be so much higher than they are. And you know what, like, baffles me? Like, absolutely, it's just like, it sends my head west. So, Elise, if going off the goals and assisting, Elise got more goals and more assists than Yamal in the league and in any other competition. So why is Yamal second and Elise is not? You know, very similar players, very similar. What does that mean? Do you know why? Because it only counts if you play in the certain countries that the votes get cast in. I just think it's stupid. I think with the voting, it needs a complete rewrite because it's no value to it now, is there? Like it was. Do you know what? Back in the day, I'd love to have seen it back in the day. Like all different players winning it and stuff like that. And I put a video out before 2016 or something. There was one player that won the Ballon d'Or. One player won the Ballon d'Or. That didn't win the Champions League. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So why is it so Champions League heavy based now and stuff like that? Like, and then when we won it, Van Dijk was the best player in the world, and he didn't win it. Do you know what I mean?
Mane could have had a good chance of winning it that year as well.
Yeah. I think there's a few things, right? I don't think a lot of countries like voting for players that play in the Premier League. I think they have an agenda against them. I'll be honest. I think everyone's sort of like lazy, typical journalism in terms of like, oh, we'll just vote for a Spanish team or a team in like that's like known around the world because for different facts and stuff. But like you if you ask the kid to name 7 teams, the 7 teams that they name, at least 4 or 5 of them being there, they vote for a player from. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, them sort of teams, and like it's because they only watch them games, and
it's ruined football a lot. FIFA, and I grew up on FIFA, but I just think people rely a lot on their football opinions. The younger generation rely a lot on their opinions on FIFA, and it's like, did you see the thing the other day with Walter Mady? He said, "Oh, who's your favorite player in the Premier League?" He said, "Gerrard, I played with him on FIFA because he had a good shot power on FIFA." It's like, what? Who's your favorite player that you watched then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if it was FIFA based, literally, people's favorite players would be completely different. I say he was absolute boss on FIFA, Aubameyang in his day, because he was fucking fast and rapid. He could finish. Yeah. That's all you need on FIFA now. Someone fast and rapid and finish. So when Dembele's on FIFA and Yamal's on FIFA, everyone's going to be wanting. I think it's just a.
It's like being in the head of a 12-year-old boy, in it. That's what it feels like when these votes get put in. It feels like a load of 12-year-old boys have done it. That's what it feels like to me. Like there's no like sort of, it feels like everyone's opinions are based off like something like
who's the most popular player. Yeah, it's just like it is like a popularity contest a little bit. And that's how you would when I was that age. That's how I'd vote. Who's most popular right now? It's like a bandwagon thing.
Yeah, it's so boring. It's honestly so boring. Like people who watch, I feel sorry for people who watch football and like see it and view it. And I appreciate people can have different opinions and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. But I feel like when people just base their opinions off like, oh, I've watched 2 Champions League games this season, so he deserves Ballon d'Or. Like, I think people need to just not comment on or not have any power on the vote. How does it even work, the Ballon d'Or? Like, I know it's journalists who get asked, but
I think it's 3 people from each. I think it's like I don't know if that's as a journalist. I'm sure there's like 3 different areas from each country.
Well,
let me get it up once. Who votes Ballon d'Or? Let's have a look. How's the Ballon d'Or decided? Here we go. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm sure it's like 3 different things from each country gets a vote. Like a journalist said this and that and this and that.
Yeah,
I think it's something like that. Who votes? How to Ballon d'Or best player? 1 second. I think what was it? Just tell you, wouldn't it? So who votes? It didn't even say voting criteria. It's just journalist. So the voting is carried out. Who's the other one then? There's like 3. There might be something different. The voting is carried out by 100 journalists from top 100 FIFA ranked nations. Each journalist select their favorite players and also votes for the Yashin Trophy, which recognises the best goalkeeper. So if it's journalists, right? The journalists fucking piss me off in this country.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is like
talk fucking shit. If it's someone like fucking Carragher, talk shit.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say though is like, how do we know these journalists, right? these are voting on one of the. Well, you know what? It is prestigious. I'm not going to gloss over it.
Yeah, I thought it was that. I always thought it was that as well. Just for last phrase, I thought it was like the manager, the captain, and the journalist from each country. But it looks like it's just journalists.
But like when these journalists are like what I'm trying to say is like, I know journalists that are clueless. Do you know what I mean? I know they're clueless, they're absolutely clueless. They're just a journalist because that's what they do. You know, why do we know that these have not like studied or watched? Well, I think it should go to like, you know, we could do it on like like professors of football or something in countries. You know, like people who study actual football and stuff like that.
Coaches or something. Coaches or something.
Yeah, like something like that. Not some.
I think it should be maybe national team coaches. National team coaches makes more sense because they're actually involved in the football. They can't vote for their own country if that makes sense. Like Tuchel can't vote for England.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you asked like last year, it's wild, isn't it? Because you know, you asked last year. I seen that. I'm not going to say the Twitter account because I hate them. They're just awful. I always quote tweet them and call them out. And they were like, he said all the players that said Yamal's the best player in the world, right? And he did this list that went on for about 3 minutes, and I just report, interesting how everyone on this list has either got a free bus pass or is Spanish. So you go and ask anyone in this country last season, and I mean, from all different corners of the earth, you know what I mean? Everyone said Salah. I remember doing a video last year, like Iwobi was saying it, he's out saying, you know, they're all playing for like Newcastle, Fulham. Yeah, they was asking all players from different clubs, his best player in the world, Salah. Every single one said Salah. I think apart from United, who said Fernandes.
Yeah, I mean, some do, don't they? I mean,
but yeah,
for me, is it journalists that ones that should be voting for me? Do they understand football the way a coach would understand football?
No.
But they are watching it and they are writing about it. I understand there's some brilliant journalists out there and probably would vote for the right person. But if it's anyone from like Talk Shit or something like, you know, the other countries have a Talk Shit radio station.
Yeah.
So if it's them voting for it's not going to be the right person. They're literally just going to jump on a bandwagon. They'll see like Salah, Yamal, Dembele. Oh, I like Yamal. I've watched him a couple of times.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Everyone else, who are you voting? You'll get like, who are you voting for, Steve? Oh, I'm going Dembele. Oh, I'll follow you. It's like, have your own fucking opinion. Watch the games, watch the football, and have your own opinion on it. Don't jump on bandwagons.
You know, like I carry that opinion that, you know, people probably won't agree with me on that when I say, you know, I think Elise is better than Yamal. And people go, oh, that's short. People go, shut up. What? You tell me any different. What's the difference between them? There's not much. And I just think Elise done it in the Prem, got a big move to Bayern, was doing it there. You know, he's only a few years older than Rafinha. I think what plays Rafinha's hand, not Rafinha, Yamal's hands a lot is the fact of his age. You know, if he's 22 and doing what,
and it's seen as the Messi, the Messi replacement is literally that right winger.
Even disrespects Messi, by the way. Disgrace. Don't like him.
You know what? I can sit back and say, look, Yamal's definitely one of the best players in the world. He's an unbelievable talent. To do what he's doing at the age that he is, and is unbelievable. I'm not taking anything away from him, but did he have a better season than Salah or Dembele? No. Did he have a better season than Rafinha? No. That is that. But what we're based on in here, and I'm talking like people just chuck your team trophies out, but Salah's got team trophies. Rafinha's got the same team trophies as Yamal, and actually got better stats than him, despite being not a winger, a forward. He's
everywhere last season.
Yeah, he's done brilliant at Brazil, Rafinha.
Yeah.
Yamal's done all right at Spain as well. Spain also had a brilliant season. We know that. But again, like Salah, it's just got Egypt to the first ever World Cup. So it's like if you're chucking every little egg at Salah, what's it done? Can he do it? Did he do it at international level? Did he do it? Did he have the team trophies to go with it? Salah's got everything you need to do. And then you remember, I don't know if you saw the other day that what they look at for the Ballon d'Or, look at good off what they like off the pitch as well, which makes no sense. I don't know why that's even thought about it. But if you look at that, then Salah even more. So
he's the best one out of all of them. Is he?
You know what I'm saying? So like, is an absolute role model off the pitch and on the pitch. If you're talking about that, but I don't know why that even comes into it. To be honest, what you like off the pitch. that shouldn't come down to football voting. But yeah, just even that, even if you're going to throw that in anyway, that's another one. Liss is definitely better. He impacts games more times, but he's Holder said just for laughs. Owen impacted the games more than at the same age. You know, so, that happened the other day, didn't it? The Owen Rooney debate, who was better at that age. It's close, very close. And I think Owen does to get disrespected, but I think what doesn't help Owen is how big of an ego he's got.
Owen was the best teenager probably ever, to be honest. Like, as much as I don't like the fella, he probably...
It's his ego. If he didn't have the ego, it did, right? People might start listening to him a little bit more.
But like Wayne Rooney, so I think the question you seen was Wayne Rooney, who would you take it at 22, 23, and it'd be Rooney, because Rooney at 22, 23 was unbelievable. Where Owen was. Owen from 18 to 21.
21, 22, yeah.
He was absolutely ridiculous, out of this world good. So, you know, I'd take Michael Owen, to be honest, for the first few years, and then obviously I'd take Wayne Rooney. I think it's very much split very fairly. By the way, as well, I mean, I'm not even trying to get people on my side here by making the argument that English players and players that play in the Premier League don't get the vote a lot. You know, obviously, I know Rodri won it last year, but, you know, what is crazy is there's been players like Wayne Rooney never been in the Ballon d'Or running and stuff like that. I know he's playing an era with Messi and Ronaldo, but for him to not even be in, like, he never got top five, did he, Wayne Rooney, in his entire career?
What did Gerrard get after the 5 or 6?
Third,
wasn't it? Yeah.
I think Gerrard got third twice. Do you know what's mad? He put Frank Lampard ahead of him that season.
Gerrard to carry garbage around to a Champions League win.
Yeah,
unbelievable. But yeah, you know what? I think even when Ronaldo got it in the Premier League, it's only because they were going to go to Spain at some point anyway. They knew they were going to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's lost its credibility over these last, like, you know, I'm not going to lie, I love Salah to win. I think he deserves it, you know, from a personal view of Salah. Like, he wants to win that. I know why he wants to win. He wants to be one of the, you know, first Egyptian player ever, probably forever, to win it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, and, you know, it'd be nice for him to have that, because I mean, he's achieved everything.
It's like it's acknowledgement. I don't think it needs the acknowledgement. So, you know, us as fans give it him. You know, his Egyptian fans will absolutely give it him. You know, he's the greatest Egyptian player of all time. Whatever Mido thinks. Mido politics thinks it's him, but it's not. It's Mohamed Salah is a role model in Egypt. It's a role model in Africa.
I mean, they put him got votes for president. 1 million votes.
I just think whatever, you know, is that acknowledgement of what he shouldn't win the Ballon d'Or just based off his whole career. He should have won the Ballon d'Or based off that season you just had. Yeah, it's not like, because you've had a brilliant career, just to sort of say thank you for your career, you can win the Ballon d'Or this year. No, he should be winning the Ballon d'Or based off that season he just literally just had, which was probably the best individual season I've seen in the Premier League ever.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the best. Like, there's no. I don't think there's any disputing it. It was the best season. Like, Henry had it back in the day, didn't he? Suarez had it as well. You know, Haaland had a really good one as well, didn't he? But that last year was, like, out of this world. Like, he got more goals in the month of December than some of the teams had in 4 months of the Premier League. That's how many goals he got. I mean, come on. Like, you compare.
You know what's so mad? You know what's mad, mate? You know what's mad? The difference between Salah winning it, or even the difference between Dembele winning that Ballon d'Or, or Salah or Yamal, was penalties.
Yeah, true. In fact, do you know what? I just think the way he's been put to fourth, I actually don't think he'd win it if he won the Champions League. I'm actually going to say that.
Not even just winning. Oh, if they win the Champions League, there's absolutely no option but to win it. But even if we went out the next round, even if the PSG went out that round on penalties to us, that's how it was. If we even went out the next round, Dembele don't win it.
I think, you know what's crazy as well is, I'm going to say this. Say Liverpool win the Champions League this year and Salah's instrumental in it. Do you think he wins it? Because I think the way he's been disrespected this much for so long, I think he wouldn't. Actually, I think he genuinely won't win it just because of the way these votes are. Like, say Salah, for example, this season, if we won the double Premier League and Champions League, and Salah he's going to be instrumental. It's Mo Salah we're talking about here. You know, there's actually no excuse because if they say it's actually, if it comes round to next year and that we win all this and Salah doesn't win it, even though he's instrumental, then that is an absolute myth about the Champions League, then, isn't it? Because that just shows that people just don't like him.
Choosing. Yeah.
So
I think the favourite, if anyone's going to win it at Liverpool now in the next few years,
Van Dijk.
for me, the only one that can win it for me, I know Salah should win it, but I don't think they'd ever pick him. Is Van Dijk.
It's because he's European now, isn't it?
Yeah, is Van Dijk, and the fact that I just think being captain, if we do win the Premier League, do win the Champions League as a double, I think Van Dijk. Well, we've already seen the season already. Van Dijk's crucial, absolutely crucial. Speaking of crucial,
he'd probably give it to
yeah, imagine.
But don't know how Van Dijk is. He'd probably just be like, "Here, Mo, you can have that."
yeah. This last season, just engrave it again, engrave it a little bit into 2025. Speaking of crucial, speaking of Dutch players, Ryan Gravenberch, according to Alex Crook, Liverpool are ready to reward Ryan Gravenberch with a new long-term deal. Currently on 150k a week, Naj, how much would you pay Gravenberch? To ensure he stays, you've got to make sure you've got to keep him.
Go like this. See that blank piece of paper?
Yeah, don't do a Rio Ferdinand.
Here's the pen.
Whatever you want.
Go write down whatever you want. Nah, I'd say we need to time down. Look, he's very young, isn't he? He's 23. You know, in midfielder terms, that is young. He's already won the Prem. He's already won the Carabao Cup with us. We're on the up still. You know, I'd say get him signed down. So I think 220k a week's fair for Ryan Gravenberch. I really do. I think he's that good. He's worth it. And I think you've got a player there for at least the next 7 or 8 years. You know.
Do you think he stays that long? Do you think he goes off trying something else?
I don't think so. No. I think
for some reason, I don't want to say it, but for some reason I see him in a Barcelona shirt.
Do you know what? Do you know what I don't? Do you know why I don't see it? I just see that he's just like sort of. He almost like you look at him and he's like he feels at home, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like people that believe.
It is, but they all do. But they all do. Like you'd want to think they'd stay for Liverpool the rest of the career. Right now we're looking fantastic.
I know that, but I think that because he's got a manager that's believed in him, and like at the minute going to Barcelona is a bit of a backward step. Would you say in terms of
not say backwards? No. I think they're back on the up again. So
yeah, no, not backwards, but sideways. That's what I'm looking for. Sideways step, isn't it? Which is like obviously that's fine, but you know, I
was thinking like the Dutch connections as well. Obviously, like many players in the Dutch team went to Barcelona, made a name there. Rijkaard's a good one.
Dutch pool, though, isn't it? Dutch pool.
I know, but I'm just thinking like at some point, I can't personally. I wish I could see Gravenberch staying in Liverpool versus Clear, but I can't. I'm not going to be like that way. I think, that's that. Then today we've seen Trent just leave. He's a Scouse, a Liverpool fan. People do have different dreams, different things. If you've done everything at Liverpool, Gravenberch, I won't ever bridge players leaving anyway. They've done all the kind of our club. No, but I could see Gravenberch saying, you know what, I want to try it in Barcelona. And Barcelona, like I said, they're on the up now. They're that very, very good team. Like it is a sideways step, but that's a good thing for Liverpool. That's a sideways step because there's no who's above us.
It's only really Real Madrid, isn't there now?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like if it's a sideways step, that's absolutely, that's what's going to happen. It would be nice to get him at least 5 years.
I get him tied down now. I know he's got 3 years left on his contract, but I just get him because he signed a 6-year deal, didn't he? When we signed him.
Yeah.
I get him tied down. And look, I think he's just, he's shown over the last season and to now like how good. Well, we obviously spoke about him the other day in depth, and we know I've always known he's a fucking brilliant footballer. Like he's so good, and I think now it's the right time to get him signed down to a deal because he's not really got anyone knocking on the door of him yet because he's got so long left on his contract. So get an extension put on it. You know, we get a 6 year. I'd say you get a 5-6 year extension to his contract. I've heard it's 5 years, isn't it? A 5 year contract. I'd just do it because it's totally worth it. Because I mean, he's sort of Liverpool's midfield for that time for the next 5 years. How successful with him in it? So yeah, I'd just get it done. Get it boxed off as soon as possible. Not have a Konate situation or a Trent situation, please.
Just a couple of quick more stories as well. Obviously, Guehi still looks like he's going to sign for Liverpool next summer, according to Give Me Sport, which that is not really reliable, but I'm hoping it is true. I'm hoping I do think Guehi still signs for us, I'm honest. Real Madrid, a top target next season for Michael Olise. So Real Madrid again going after our targets. Olise would be that perfect salary replacement for me. And then the biggest one that came out in recent hours was the AS Football from who's a outlet in Madrid. According to them, Ibrahima Konate is not Real Madrid's top choice. It is now William Saliba.
Go and take Saliba off Arsenal because they're not winning anything.
Exactly. Leave us Konate. You can have Saliba.
To be honest, though, I was thinking this the other day. Actually, I forgot to. I wrote it down in my notes, and I forgot to say this. You know, I think if Arsenal don't win anything this year, I think Saliba's off. I was going to say that the other day.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Why would he? I mean, I'm being very. I'm not being disrespectful here, by the way. That was a bit of a joke I was making before to Arsenal fans, but you know, Arsenal are brilliant. They're a fantastic team, but there's only so long a player can stay there of that quality and not get the rewards in terms of trophies. And Arsenal haven't won anything since Saliba's been back at the club. You know, he was out on loan when they won the FA Cup in Arteta's first season. I mean, he's coming into that sort of age. Was he 25 now, Saliba? 23?
Yeah,
20?
still a young lad, yeah.
I think that's sort of Real Madrid going to be dropping the big bucks on him, isn't it? And it's going to be hard for him to say no because, you know, he's almost guaranteed to be. Well, he's in a 2-horse race, isn't he, in Spain? You know, rather than here in the UK, in England, where you're going to have at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, the last couple of years, it's not been that, but you know, the whole league was full of quality, isn't it? Like, there's not often you see Real Madrid get beat by Eibar, whereas you see Arsenal got beat by Bournemouth twice last year. Do you know what I mean? You don't really see that in other leagues because of just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, I'd definitely say it's not really nice to say, is it? But I'd like us to keep Konate. Let's just say that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, Konate staying and Marc Guehi joining. That's perfect. Yeah, that's what we all want. And like I said, you're going to take any players Real Madrid, go to Arsenal. They've got a good few players. William Saliba and Gabriel are very good. Take Saka if you want. Good player. I do think what's holding Arsenal back right now is Arteta. You know, how long as well? It's another question. If they keep Arteta, do they win anything? But if they get rid of Arteta, are players willing to give another manager a chance? Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
It is right now what Arsenal need to do is win under Arteta. That's the only, and then players might look at it and think, yeah, it's actually a good place to be right now. But if they don't win out under Arteta, it's not a good place to be. And if they don't win out under Arteta and they get a new manager in, are players willing to say, I'm willing to stay now, try a new manager, and just try for such a long time with Arteta? When, like we've said it over and over again, players' careers are short. They've got to make decisions. And if they want to move on, they've got to move on. Simple as that. But yeah, thank you for watching today. I know it's a 2:00 show. We've got a show coming on later on. I don't know if it's going to be a pre-recorded preview or a live preview later on, but it will be around 7:00ish time. 6:30, 7:00 tonight for match preview for the Southampton game. Have a great day, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Have a good day. Speak to you all later.